see all the cheerleaders behind me. Let's score 42-21. Less than 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jackson looks like they're on their way to securing their first region title since 2015. That pregame celebration had a little bit of everything as fans, friends, family, and former teammates all came together to celebrate one of the all-time greats who gave us a moment that will live forever. This team has really turned around. We've seen kind of a resurgence here at MGM the last 2 years. You know, you've seen it firsthand as a starting quarterback. What's kind of led to that, and what's been the mindset of this team over the last couple of years?
Everybody buying into the process.
I'm here with Faith Academy Ram turned Florida Gator, Shamar James. And Shamar, appreciate you joining us right here on Fox 10 Live. And you've been in Florida for a couple years now. How would you describe your time there so far?
My time's been great here. Coach Napier and the rest of the supporting staff have been taking care of me, you know, making a home away from home.
And how do you feel like you've grown as a player and as a person since you got to Gainesville?
I feel like I've grown as a player and a person by, you know, just the work I put in and just the attention that I put to my spirituality.
The Auburn Tigers take the stage at SEC Media Days with high expectations in year 2 under head coach Hugh Freeze. But defending it is a completely different story. That's exactly what the Leroy Bears did, as for the second year in a row, they have a blue map on the way home. The Atlanta Braves are set to honor Hank Aaron's 715th home run, which was a moment that impacted the game of baseball and the country as a whole. But before that, they helped unveil a new way for fans to look back on the life and legacy of one of the game's all-time greats. Of course, Alabama fans are ready for another national championship, and with so many of those new faces on the field and on the sidelines, Crimson Tide fans are ready to see how this new era of Alabama football gets started. Well, we got to hear from the Longhorns today, and it's safe to say they know exactly the challenge that lies ahead of them.
Swinging, there's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here.
That night 50 years ago was one of the greatest moments in all of sports as Hank Aaron broke baseball's greatest record with home run 715. Some of his teammates from that 1974 Braves team returned to Atlanta to remember that day and the man who made history.
He was a low-key guy, and everything around him was basically low-key. He led by example in every way. For me to be here today to help celebrate the 50 year of it, it's a blessing.
The Braves legends were part of a pregame ceremony that was fit for one of baseball's greatest players. Across the field, there were signs with the date of each home run Hank Aaron hit on his way to 715. His teammates took the field at Truist Park while looking back on their memories from 50 years ago, especially Tom House, who actually caught that historic home run ball in the bullpen.
Well, it probably means more now than it did then, but I knew when I got the ball, I had to get it in his hand. I didn't remember it was worth a lot of money or anything other than get it to Henry, see what happens.
The 74 team was then joined by Hank's wife, Billy Aaron, who received a standing ovation from Braves country and a well-deserved proclamation.
April 2024 has been made.
Several fans in the crowd were also there 50 years ago to witness a home run that did a lot more than rewrite the history books.
I think it brought, you know, a lot of America together. You know, there was a bunch of negatives. You know, there were some racist comments, but there also, I think it changed the minds of a lot of people on how he handled the whole thing with dignity, you know, humility and honor. So it definitely, you know, helped society.
To close things out, Hank Aaron's great-grandson King Aaron threw out the ceremonial first pitch to end the celebration and remind everyone there's only one number 44.
There'll never be another Hank Aaron as a player or, you know, or a person. And you know, like I said, he's a living example to us all.
So our purpose-driven life is to protect every kid we can get our hands on.
For Brian and Kathy Haugen, it's all about protecting young athletes from devastating injuries, like the one that happened to their son Taylor during the 2008 Kickoff Classic. Taylor, a wide receiver for Niceville, went up to catch a pass, but was hit from 2 angles at the same time. His mother Kathy was in the crowd watching.
He tried to go back into the huddle, and coach called him off, and when he turned around to run off the field, I knew then that it was serious.
His liver was basically crushed. He bled out internally.
The loss of their only son was devastating, but out of that pain came a purpose.
People always say If it would have happened to me, I'd have found a rock and hidden underneath it.
Well, we kind of tried to.
And we tried.
It didn't work.
That, but
didn't work.
I think the Lord had bigger plans for us, and He's been known to move a rock from time to time.
Kathy says she started researching equipment that could protect a player's ribs. She found that not all high school teams and parents knew about it and wanted to change that.
He said like a dozen times, I want to outfit every kid in the country. And I said, you know you can't do that, right? And finally I said, you're not going to give up on this thing, are you? And she said, no.
That's how the Taylor Haugen Foundation started.
That's a good fit.
Since 2011, the Haugans say they have fitted over 7,000 kids in 18 states. Today they came back to Niceville High School to fit Taylor's former team with rib-protecting shirts ahead of the 2023 season.
And to be back here on that anniversary is just really amazing. It's a great feeling to know that I think we made a difference today, and we helped to make sure that what happened to T is not going to happen Friday.
All 168 freshman, JV, and varsity football players were outfitted with new shirts. The Haugans say today was an emotional experience, but they're happy to keep Taylor's name alive by keeping others safe.
The kids' acknowledgement about T and his memory of his don't quit, never give up mentality, his motto kind of lives on, and that's just a good thing for everybody, I think. All right, you're good to go now.